All right, guys, another week, another new big thing in AI. Can you give us a break? How are we supposed to keep up with all of this? And well, this video will be an attempt to get you up to speed on ChatGPT Code Interpreter. So it is currently in the alpha phase, and it is a ChatGPT plugin. So I currently don't have access to this plugin yet, unfortunately, because usually I like my videos to be hands-on with lots of demos that you can immediately try out yourself. But unfortunately, I'm on the waitlist. If you want to get on the waitlist as well, you can go to this URL over here and then join the plugin waitlist, because there are already some plugins that you can leverage, that you can use within ChatGPT. So here you can see some supported. But if I scroll down, now the next big thing that everyone's talking about, that's popping up everywhere on social media, on Twitter, is Code Interpreter. And I think for a good reason, because this is really interesting, of course, and especially from a data analytics and data science point of view. So that is why I want to get into this in this video. And while I don't have access yet, what I want to do is I have some examples of other people that are using this already. And I want to go over those examples and really explain my thoughts, my take on this, and how I think it will affect data analyst work and data science work, because things are going to change. This is really a big thing. And I feel like this really is the next phase, the next level already of interacting with large language models like OpenAI's ChatGPT, for example. And why is that? So these large language models, they kind of understand language in the sense that we can communicate with these models, interact with these models using language. We can type something, ask a question, and we will get back an answer in the form of text. But now with Code Interpreter, the model can use Python and handle uploads and downloads. So this means it becomes multi-modal in the sense that we can work with different kind of file formats, different kinds of information. So what does this mean? Well, it means that we are now not only limited to human language that we understand, but we can also leverage computer language in the form of code and digital files. And that is how we operate, that is how we interact with computers, basically. In the background, it's all code that's performing some sort of operations on files, resulting in output, actions, etc. So if you really think about smart agents, AGI, applications like that need access to the digital realm, basically. They have to understand code, digital files, and Code Interpreter is an attempt to make that work. And now, while we've already seen other attempts, for example, Baby AGI and AutoGPT, which I also have a video on, the examples that I'm seeing now already from Code Interpreter are so much better than anything else we've seen before. And basically, in their own words, OpenAI says we would like our models to be able to use programming skills to provide a much more natural interface to most fundamental capabilities of our computers. So I feel this really is the key. Like I've said, it's that integration between understanding human language and, on the other hand, also understanding computer language. So we, the humans, provide the agent or the AI with instructions, information in the form of language, but then the AI, the computer, also understands how to execute that on a computer to actually make it work. And they say having access to a very eager junior programmer working at the speed of your fingertips can make completely new workflows effortless and efficient, as well as open the benefits of programming to new audience. And this is also something very interesting that I want to get into, programming for new audiences, because you don't have to be a coder anymore right now already, but also especially in the future to do all kinds of crazy things with these models. So what is it good at right now? They say initial user studies have identified that Code Interpreter is good at solving mathematical problems, both quantitative and qualitative, and doing data analysis and visualization. And this right here, large part of your job as a data analyst and also data scientist is doing data analysis and visualization and solving mathematical problems. So what does this mean for data analysts and data scientists? That is what I want to get into by running you through some examples and then really saying okay, how is this going to affect the work we do. So now let's get into some examples. And I found this really good Twitter thread over here by Hassan Tor. Link will be in the description, so you can check it out. Look at these examples on your own. But he basically compiled a whole bunch of tweets where people are showing off how they are using ChatGPT Code Interpreter right now. So the first example over here, like what can it do? So basic video editing in ChatGPT, converting a uploaded GIF to a longer MP4 version with a slow zoom. So you can see we have the original video, which is a GIF, and then it turns into a video with a zoom. So what is it doing over here? It's converting a file, and it's also making an edit and manipulation on that video file. So what does this mean for like the future? Like, okay, like you will have fully automated video editing software that can basically, for example, given your style of content creation and your types of edits and cuts, can probably very quickly spin up a rough draft of an edit for you. It's basically like interpreting the script basically first, so understanding what people are saying in the video. So then it's probably a transcription, and then it understands, okay, this should be a good story, and then it can cut, it can create zoom ins, zoom outs, transitions. Like in a couple of years, we will have fully automated video editing software. That is basically what I think of when I see this. Okay, next thing. So we have segment music markets based on spreadsheet and come up with business strategies for each segment. So there is a video over here, basically a demo of a upload. So it uploads a spreadsheet, and then it says, great, you've uploaded a spreadsheet. And then let's start by taking a look at the content. So this is really how you how you work with the interpreter. You upload a file, and then here you can see it just reads the data, and then you can ask questions about it. It understands it. And yeah, it's so interesting from a data analysis point of view, working like this, and then giving the model full access understanding to your data. And then that is of course like the next big thing that's going to come up. Like, okay, you upload your data, so now it has access to all your data. Like, can we do that with company data? And like right now with this alpha phase and how OpenAI is set up, probably not a good idea to share sensitive business information. But I know, like for example, Microsoft is already working on isolated versions, isolated clones of the GPT models, so you can interact with them with sensitive information without sharing it with the world. So just keep that in mind as I go through these examples. All right, what's next? Analyze and summarize your music taste from your Spotify playlist. So here it's analyzing 300-hour Spotify favorites playlist with ChatGPT Code Interpreter. And what you can see right here is that it's coming up with all kinds of graphs over here. So it's doing a principal component analysis, it seems like, and we have some nice visualizations over here, more plots, and then here also the interpretation. So the explained variance ratio and cumulative explained variance ratio from the PCA. So this is highly technical stuff over here. Like understanding principal component analysis is pretty an advanced topic, and ChatGPT Code Interpreter can help you with that. All right, what else? All kinds of visualization charts and graphs. So what are we looking at over here? So this is then in the tweet from Ethan Mollick. And again, like credits to all the authors of these tweets. And if you want to stay up to date, learn more, I would suggest like following them out, checking out these profiles, because they already have access and can tell you probably a lot more. But here you can see like these are like basic Seaborn, Matplotlib kind of plots that you can create using Python, and that data analysts and also data scientists do as a large part of their work. So I'm not even sure like what this is, but they're pretty fancy graphs. All right, and then here we have extracting colors from an image. So what's going on over here? So you upload an image, and then so we can do the image, and then you can say like extract the most, what it says, like top colors from the picture and make a color palette. So this can help you with like design, coming up with like a design template, a color palette for your brand or your presentation or whatever, and boom, spits out the code over here to help you do that. And then it also executes the code. So here you can see like actually how it's working. So first it comes up with the code and then return. So the palette.png, and then here, boom, we run the code. And then let's see like in the end Let's have a look at the output file. Can you display the palette PNG now? Boom, there it is, color palette. So this is an example from Pietro Schirano. And what else? Get country-specific content breakdown by uploading a Netflix dataset. So this is a dataset from Kaggle, it appears to be. And then we get a report. So we have a dataset from Kaggle. Seems to be a pretty large dataset, 12 columns. And then we have a breakdown, top 10 countries, full report, full breakdown. And then here we can see how it's generating a GIF, like out of nothing. Basically, the prompt is make a GIF this size with falling green matrix of letters. Assume no fonts, 30 frames, 5 FPS. So video generation, GIF generation. Here we have a look at Bitcoin data analysis, all kinds of charts to look at like the trend, the seasonal component, the residual component, to do time series analysis. And then what we have here, turn your photos into a text file. So we upload a PDF over here and it says like OCR an image for me and generate the text file. So, it's the PNG, so not PDF, but it's like an invoice. It's processing, then it does OCR, optical character recognition, to read everything from that image. And now we have an output TXT. What does that look like? Boom, there it is. Image to text. All right, so what does this mean for data analysts and data scientists? And why the hell am I trending in the Netherlands? Like, what? Okay, I have no idea what this is. Sorry, a little sidetrack, but what does this mean? Like, I think really, like, if we look at all of this, like the work that we do will definitely change. And looking at this and what it already can do, ChatGPT Code Interpreter, I think really like data analytics jobs, data analysis, it's going to impact, it's going to affect that, like, for sure. And I think already pretty soon. And how I think this will play out is, since, for example, like Microsoft is already like big friends with OpenAI, and they announced that they will introduce Copilot into the Office 365 stack. So this will be in Excel. So right now, from working with tons of companies, I know that like still the main way for most companies to do data analysis is just through Excel. They have big spreadsheets, company data, financial data, whatever data, and they use that to do their analysis for them. And they can do basic analysis with that, but then when it gets too complicated, they need help from either a data analyst, or if they want to do some more predictive kind of stuff, machine learning, they need help from a data scientist. That is typically how it works right now. But if you interpret this kind of functionality into Excel, you now enable end users basically who might not have the technical understanding of how to do the data analysis to come up with all kinds of insights. And coming back to how ChatGPT OpenAI was describing it, like it offers a completely new workflow, more effortless and efficient, as well as open the benefits of programming to new audiences. So this is really the thing here. So it allows non-technical people that don't have a data analysis or programming background to do analysis for them. And like we've seen already, you can get quite complex with this. Now, and here's the but. A large part of data analysis, of course, is the interpretation, making it specific to the domain that you're working in, the company that you're working in. So, of course, you can't like replace a data analyst or a data scientist like with all at once, like with a tool like this, because the interpretation, the reasoning behind it is still a large part of this. And that in turn is also like right now my biggest advice for data analysts and even also for data scientists, because like they will be next. Like probably next week you'll have ChatGPT machine learning or whatever, and it can do that as well. So like I've said, like domain knowledge, understanding a field really well, understanding a business really well, like it is already really important. But now there are also like plenty of jobs that just require like technical skills, just like being able to do simple analysis, simple work, processing data. But like we're seeing right now, like basic analysis, basic transformations, the AI can already do this. So it's now much more about, okay, we have this tool that can help us to do the work. but now it's really your expertise as a professional to make sense of that data, ask the right questions, and make it so that it will come up with useful insights for the problem that you are helping your company with or helping your client with. And also in general, just like being a great team player and being able to communicate your findings effectively to the company, to your team. And again, already like a skill that is already really important and can set you up for a good career. But I think what we're going to see is kind of like a shift, a transition, where given these tools, you can accomplish basically the same output, more output with less people. That's just a fact. Like this will supercharge your productivity. So basically what will happen? Like teams, companies can probably scale down in all kinds of areas. Like basically all the kind, and this is not just like data analytics, data science, but like all the jobs basically that require a human to sit behind a computer and process some kind of information, it will be speed up by AI. There will be AIs, there will be agents that can do that much more effectively, much more efficiently. So what will that mean? Either companies will like stay with like the same kind of like team and employees and just like 10x or maybe even 100x their output. But like for a lot of like teams and roles that might not even be necessary. So what I think is far more likely is that teams will scale down, because whereas you first needed a team of like, I don't know, 10 people, you can now do it with 1 or 2. And what will naturally happen, of course, the ones like in the team, like the A players, the best players, like they will keep their position and they will be supercharged by these tools, supercharged by these AIs. So how do you set yourself up so you will not be replaced by these AIs? And in my opinion, it really is like threefold. So it's one is really understand how to use these tools effectively and start experimenting with them like right now, because otherwise you will be left behind, because there are others within your field that are using these tools and they will 10x, 100x your output. So that's one. Understand this, work with these kind of tools, stay up to date. Then 2 is domain knowledge. So try to fill in the gaps that these models cannot do yet. And like I've said, it's more of the execution, the implementation, so the transformation, making the graphs, but it's less about making it specific to your domain, the interpretation. So that is another like key area where I should focus on if you want to like stay relevant. And then 3rd is overall like be a good team player and focus on communicating your results and finding effectively, basically. Because humans just naturally want to work with like nice people that communicate effectively, are nice to deal with, that interpersonal contact, these conversations, those are the kind of things that AIs cannot replace and probably will never replace, like human interaction. And that is a large part of work, like the socializing, be helping each other out, learning from each other. That is still like a big part. It will become less about the technical skills for like these kind of jobs. Whereas like right now, you maybe need a data analyst or a data scientist who's just like really good at like one specific technical kind of thing, but he's kind of like a jerk and I don't really like working with him, but he's really good. Like that guy will be out because the AI can cover all the technical stuff. And if there's another guy who's maybe a little less technical, but can still implement the technical things due to AI, but he's really nice to work with and just overall helps you can learn from him, like he will get the job. So like those are my thoughts on it. So like I've said, learn to work with these tools, gather domain knowledge, specific knowledge that is not captured right now, like in these models, not in the capabilities, and just overall be a good team player. I think that will set you up for a future where you stay relevant in this new era of AI, basically. But like also again, these are all just like guesses, my thoughts. Nobody knows how this is going to play out. Of course, like we've seen like in the past, like jobs get replaced all the time, but there also will be new jobs. So overall, I think if you are a data analyst or data scientist, like being in this field, like having the technical skills, you shouldn't worry at all. Like we are in a great spot right now. Like working with data is still amazing. There's so much data. There are still like companies that don't use data at all. But like I've said, probably the work will change. Maybe it will be more spread out. So not so much focused on like large organizations, huge teams, but more so like small little teams where every company eventually has some kind of like a AI engineer who manages the agents and sets up the agents. So all you get all kinds of new jobs and opportunities probably. But it will likely shift, like the days of just like plotting some graphs and writing some Python functions with Matplotlib to like impress your boss or your clients. Like they will be over, because they will be like, hey, yeah, really cool that you can do that, but I have like Excel over here. I can press like one button and I have that also with like an interpretation specific to my business. So, hey, those are just my thoughts. Exciting stuff. It's going really fast, hard to keep up, but I hope at least that this little ramble of mine has at least brought you up to speed on ChatGPT Code Interpreter. Like I've said, you can get on the waitlist to try and get early access to this, to already start experimenting with this, see what it can do for you, how it can help you with your job. And yeah, I'm like really curious what next week will bring us in the world of AI, the next big thing. What will it be? Will it be ChatGPT machine learning? I don't know. It's going really fast. It's exciting, but also a little overwhelming, I would say. Hey, that's it for now. If you found this video helpful, like please leave a like, it really helps me out. And also you'll let YouTube know that you want to see more content like this, like to stay up to date on everything like AI and data. And also subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss any future videos. That's it for now. Thank you for watching, and then I'll see you in the next one.